Hey, what's up? It's Foster, and today we're doing an exhaust comparison video. As some of you may know, I've got the AWE Touring Edition exhaust on my WRX, but I've also got an AWE Track Edition here that we're gonna be putting on the car, and I'm gonna give you guys a direct side-by-side comparison of how the two sound. Quick side note, what inspired me to make this video was I had my WRX out at the track last weekend and I actually had a hard time hearing it. So it got me thinking, is there really a reason why they have a track edition versus a touring edition? And maybe running the touring edition on the track wasn't the right idea. If you guys want to see track reviews and installs on the WRX, this is my personal car, go follow me at Foster Johnson Media on YouTube and you can check out all my content. So now you guys know a little bit more about why I wanted to make this video. Hopefully we can finally debunk the question of, is a track edition exhaust too loud for a daily driver? So we're out here driving around with the AWE Touring Edition on my WRX. Honestly, it's really refined. It doesn't give you that raw sound that the Track Edition does, but it still is unmistakably a WRX. You can hear the turbo noises, you can hear the sound of that FA motor, and it sounds really, really nice. One thing I like about the Touring Edition exhaust is the fact that you can have a conversation with someone in the car or someone even in the back seat and you don't have to raise your voice. This exhaust is really mild when you're just cruising around. Part of the reason why it is so refined on the road is AWE uses a proprietary technology called 180-degree technology, and that essentially cancels out the drone and the unwanted frequencies when you're driving. Don't get me wrong, the AWE Touring Edition exhaust is still a lot louder than the stock exhaust, but not in a bad way. It's loud when you're giving it gas and you can still hear a little bit of burbles between shifts, but it's not loud when you don't want it to be. It's one of those exhausts that can easily just fade into the background, not demanding your attention at every single minute. So if you're okay swinging a little extra dough for the mufflers you get with the AWE Touring Edition exhaust, and you don't see yourself going to the track that often, mainly just street driving, I think this is an amazing option for you guys. So I just got the AWE Track Edition exhaust unboxed, and if you guys are unfamiliar with the AWE lineup, they always come really well packaged. They actually specialize in making exhausts for German cars, but they branched out into the Subaru market, and you can tell by the quality of their products. But my favorite part are the exhaust tips that come in their own box. These are beautiful black chrome exhaust tips with a custom foam cutout, and they really go the extra mile too. There's a blow pop with its own cutout as well. So I love the way that these things are packaged. But one thing that's cool about this AWE track kit is the only difference between this and the Touring Edition are the mufflers. So essentially the track exhaust is a muffler delete. So we've got those conversion kits on our website. Definitely go check that out if you guys are interested. But for now, I'm gonna go ahead and get this Track Edition thrown on the car. around with the AWE Track Edition exhaust on my WRX now, and I have to say this thing is definitely the more rowdy and more fun exhaust to have on the car, because it gives the car a whole bunch of character that you didn't get with that Touring Edition exhaust. It's got some pops and bangs between shifts and on downshifts as well, and it just makes you smile when you're driving. So if you don't mind putting up with a little bit of drone on the highway, and your neighbors don't mind when you cold start the car in the morning, then I'd highly recommend you guys go for the Track Edition exhaust. It's really not too loud, but do keep in mind that I've got the stock J-pipe on my car. If you guys have got an aftermarket J-pipe and some headers as well, you might want to consider going for the Touring Edition exhaust, because all those exhaust modifications together is going to make your car really loud and probably too loud to daily drive. The other thing I really like about the AWE Track Edition exhaust is it's a little bit cheaper, so who doesn't want to save about $300 by not buying those mufflers? And as I mentioned before, you can always change your mind down the road and get the conversion kit to run the AWE Touring. But if you're on the fence about wanting a loud exhaust, I'd say go for it. So my final thoughts on the comparison between the Track and the Touring Edition of the AWE Catback. Well, it might seem obvious, but the Touring Edition is going to be the better setup for the street. I can testify to that. I've been driving around this WRX and it's been an amazing daily driver. One thing, however, I did not realize is that it's not loud enough when you're on the track, because you've got a helmet on and your windows are down, and it would be nice to be able to hear the motor a bit more so that you can figure out your shift points without having to look at your gauges. And in that sense, the Touring Edition is not as good as the Track Edition. Obviously, it's a little bit heavier as well. So it really just comes down to what type of driving you're gonna do with your car and what you want to prioritize. There's always going to be a bit of a trade-off. The Track Edition is going to be worse on the street, the Touring Edition is going to be worse on the track, and it kind of really makes sense if you think about it. Either way you go, you really can't go wrong with these AWE Catbacks, especially if you get them in these diamond black tips. I really like those. I will put links in the description down below to the SubiSpeed website where you can pick one of these up for yourself. And with all that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.